It was a stormy night when Jake, a pizza delivery boy, received an unusual order. The address led him to an old mansion at the edge of town, surrounded by eerie silence and overgrown trees. Reluctantly, Jake parked his car and approached the mansion's door. He knocked, and the door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit hallway. "Hello," Jake called out, but there was no answer. He stepped inside cautiously, carrying the pizza box like a lifeline. As he walked down the hallway, Jake noticed strange paintings on the walls, faces distorted in agony. A chill ran down his spine, but he pressed on, guided by the faint sound of a piano playing from somewhere deeper within the mansion. Reaching a grand hall, Jake saw an old man sitting at a piano, his back turned. Your pizza," Jake said nervously, holding out the box. The old man didn't respond, continuing to play a haunting melody. Jake set the pizza down on a nearby table and turned to leave, but then the old man spoke, his voice raspy and unsettling. "Stay. Join me for a meal." Jake hesitated, feeling trapped by the mansion's oppressive atmosphere. I can't, sir. I have to go," he stammered, inching towards the door. Suddenly the piano music stopped, and the old man turned around, his face twisted in anger. "You can't leave," he growled, revealing a deformed smile. Terrified, Jake bolted towards the door, but it slammed shut before he could reach it. Panic surged through him as he frantically searched for another way out. In the dim light, he stumbled upon a staircase leading to the basement. Reluctantly, he descended, hoping to find an exit. In the basement, Jake found himself in a labyrinth of narrow corridors, lined with dusty relics and cobwebs. His heart raced as he heard footsteps echoing behind him. He turned a corner and came face to face with a room filled with porcelain dolls. Their eyes seemed to follow him. Desperate, Jake pushed through the room and found an old service elevator. He pressed the button, praying for it to work. The doors opened slowly, revealing darkness below. Without hesitation, he stepped inside and pressed the button for the ground floor. The elevator descended into an underground chamber, lit by flickering torches. Jake stepped out cautiously, realizing he was in a crypt filled with ancient coffins. As he moved forward, he saw inscriptions on the walls, names and dates from centuries past. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the chamber. "Welcome to your final delivery." Jake spun around to see the old man standing at the entrance, blocking his only way out. "What do you want from me?" Jake demanded, his voice trembling. The old man approached slowly, his eyes gleaming with malice. "You!" he hissed, revealing a knife hidden in his coat. Jake backed away, his mind racing for an escape plan. Just then, he noticed a loose brick in the wall nearby. With adrenaline fueling his movements, Jake grabbed the brick and hurled it at the old man, striking him in the chest. The old man staggered back, dropping the knife. Seizing the opportunity, Jake sprinted past him and towards a hidden door at the back of the crypt. He pushed through, emerging into the stormy night outside. Gasping for breath, Jake ran to his car and sped away from the mansion, leaving behind the horrors he had encountered. As he drove, he couldn't shake the feeling that he had narrowly escaped something far darker than he could ever imagine. It was a stormy night, the kind that made every shadow seem deeper and every creak of the house more unsettling. Sarah, home alone and hungry, decided to order pizza. She dialed the number and soon heard the distant sound of a motorcycle approaching. The doorbell rang sharply, echoing through the empty house. Sarah opened the door cautiously, greeted by a young man in a pizza delivery uniform. His name tag read Tom. He had a friendly smile, but his eyes darted nervously. Sarah paid for the pizza, but as Tom handed over the box, a strange chill ran down her spine. His smile seemed forced now, his gaze too intense. "Enjoy your pizza," he muttered hastily before turning to leave. As Sarah closed the door, she couldn't shake the feeling of unease. She unwrapped the pizza, but something caught her eye. A small note stuck to the underside of the box lid. It read, "I know you're alone. Beware." Fear gripped Sarah's heart. She checked the locks, called the pizza place to complain, but they assured her it must be a prank. Despite their reassurances, Sarah couldn't sleep that night. Every sound outside seemed amplified, every shadow a potential threat. Days passed without incident, but Sarah's anxiety grew. She noticed a motorcycle parked down the street every now and then, always with a helmeted figure sitting nearby. She couldn't be sure, but it felt like the same motorcycle Tom had ridden. One evening, another storm brewed outside. Sarah was about to dismiss her fears when the doorbell rang again. This time, it wasn't the delivery boy, it was the police. They asked if she had ordered a pizza recently. Confused, Sarah nodded. The officer's face darkened. "There's been an incident," he said gravely. "One of our officers noticed a motorcycle fitting the description of the delivery boys parked outside an abandoned house. Inside, they found evidence of foul play, a room filled with discarded pizza boxes and photographs of customers." Sarah's blood ran cold. The officer continued, "We believe he's been watching his customers, targeting those who live alone. He's still at large." It dawned on Sarah, the note, the lingering presence. Tom had been watching her, waiting for the right moment. The pizza she had ordered, it could have been laced with something, a trap waiting to be sprung. The twist in the story was chilling. The friendly delivery boy was not what he seemed. He had been stalking Sarah, planning something far more sinister than a simple pizza delivery. As Sarah stared at the empty pizza box, she realized how close she had come to a horrifying fate. From that day on, Sarah never ordered pizza alone again. And every time she heard a motorcycle's distant rumble, she couldn't help but shudder, reminded of the night she narrowly escaped a true horror story.